Trees, nuts, seafood, cats. Think about it. What do all of these things have in common? I know you're thinking I'm crazy because, of course, none of these things are anything alike. Let me throw in red meat. Even more confusing, right? Well, all of these things, believe it or not, do have something in common, and that's allergies. Have you ever heard of a reaction to mammalian oligosaccharide epitome, or more commonly known as alpha-gal syndrome? This is a recently occurring allergy to beef and pork. It's often caused by a lone star tick bite, which infects the bloodstream, causing the victim to have symptoms of hives, swelling, and abdominal pain, and even anaphylaxis, a potentially deadly reaction that restricts breathing, all after eating beef or pork. Imagine if that was you. I know, with my love of steak and that delicious 2-inch pork chop from Patty's, this disease would nearly kill me just from the diet that I would have to be on. Don't get me wrong, I love chicken and fish, and I could eat it over and over again, but I would really miss that salty, buttery taste of my favorite pork chop. A little over a year ago, alpha-gal became something that I was more aware of. My favorite aunt was going through a lot. Trying to find a diagnosis for her child's stomach problems, having to take care of her oldest child's kids while they were trying to find a house, and suddenly having to deal with a fractured back that was hardly her own fault. The last thing she needed at this time was a sickness that's so difficult to diagnose. About a week after her back fracture, she became very sick. Going from doctor to doctor, none were pinpointing her disease. It was a constant guess and treat, but nothing was working. She soon brought up the fact that she'd recently been bitten by a tick, but it was so far back that she didn't think it had affected her. Doctors ran some more tests and finally diagnosed her with alpha-gal syndrome. Not only has alpha-gal affected my aunt and the things she can eat, but it's also affected my entire family. Over the holidays, we have about 6 different family meals where everyone cooks. These meals usually consist of typical holiday foods, the turkey, ham, corn, green beans, but this year, things were different. My mom's savory baked ham, out of the picture. Green beans with bacon for flavor, with no bacon. Kind of like a cake without sugar. Yuck. You're probably wondering if there's a treatment for alpha-gal. Well, kind of. But it's more of a do-it-yourself type thing. When someone's diagnosed with alpha-gal, it requires some major life changes, such as avoiding meat, taking medicines such as antihistamines and corticosteroids, and injecting epinephrine to reverse severe reactions. Some people have mild reactions that don't require certain medications, but others become severely allergic and must have allergy medication with them all the time. For someone with alpha-gal, eating out at a restaurant is not the same as a normal person, such as Kara when she goes out to eat. There are many precautions that must take, such as making their food sure that it's cooked on a separate grill from where beef or pork are cooked, or asking a manager to make sure to use different utensils for their food. The good thing is, people with this allergy are usually given a card with a list of food that they can't have to give to the manager so they don't have to list them all off. I may have you a little freaked out because when you get bit by a tick, it's hard to know if they're transmitting disease to you or not. Well, it's not difficult to prevent this from happening. When you go outside, just make sure to wear long sleeves and pants, especially if you're going into an area where you know there will be ticks. Also, make sure to use plenty of insect repellent, and it doesn't hurt to shower when you come inside from a long day. Alpha-gal is definitely not a fun disease to have, but look on the bright side. It helps you to live a healthier lifestyle, and although those with allergies may miss eating beef or pork, the allergy teaches them to be more cautious with their diet and creates a lifelong, healthier path of eating.